Hey dolls, so it's going to be a quick one. I'm just going to talk about what happened this week in Texas because it was some BS, complete BS. Um, and I'm just going to talk about like my experience. I'm not going to speak for the whole of Texas. I'm just going to speak for myself, and just like some of the things I heard from my friends. So basically, many of you who know probably saw like the struggle on my channel this whole week, starting from Monday. There was what they call a winter storm. They call it a winter storm Uri. Don't know, or Uri. I don't know if I'm saying the name right. I'm about to sneeze. 1 second. Okay, it went away. So, oh, I forgot to say grab your coffee, grab your tea, because this video is going to be a little chit chat. Nothing too much. It's because of a lot of my subscribers are worried, and I want to just like make you dolls feel okay. I'm comfortable right now so far. As you can see, I'm talking to you in light. The lights came back on today, so as I made this video some hours ago around 8 a.m. for our time in Houston, the lights came on. So right now it's probably like 5 p.m. So I've had the lights on for some time. Fingers crossed it looks like it's back for good. What a nightmare the last few days have been. Like, to be able to even hold coffee, as you can see I have coffee in here, to be able to hold coffee in my hand and to be able to like talk to you with lights on, it's like, it's a privilege. It really is. Because we've been through hell. I don't even know where to begin. Like, can we just say some people lost their lives in this? They say basically there's not been a storm, like snowstorm, a winter storm in Houston. I don't know about the whole of Texas for 50 years. But it doesn't excuse what happened. A lot of people, including me, had no light, no electricity, no gas. Some people had no gas, some people had no water. Luckily we had water. It was just the pressure was really low. Just horror. It was like a shit show, basically. And it felt like America was a third world country. Well, it felt like Texas was a third world country. It felt, it didn't feel like America. It felt like I'm in some kind of country that needs help from America or something. I felt like we were the laughing stock of the whole of America and the whole of the world, because in 2021 a snowstorm should not stop lights from being on. When you think about snow, I think for me, when I think about snow, and a lot of people, you think about going outside to build a snowman, going inside to get your coffee and feel comfortable. You don't feel that your lights are going to be off and you're going to be suffering, freezing, almost freezing to death in your home. A lot of people died from this. A lot of people, you know, some family had a house fire, like trying to keep warm, trying to survive. This should never, ever, ever, ever have happened. Many people couldn't contact their family members. It felt like we lost track of time. I feel like it's Friday today, but today is actually Thursday. Food. Most people couldn't microwave or cook anything because things were not working. Obviously, there's no electricity. Luckily, this happened obviously in the cold. Imagine if it was in the heat, everyone's grocery would be perished. Like, it would be done. That's how cold it was, that our groceries were kept cold in the fridge because like frozen things were staying frozen basically because it was that cold. So imagine how it is at nighttime in bed. Imagine people's pets dying, like cold, children, babies, elderly, people who have C19 already. How will they be able to fight this thing with no heat? So it just makes you wonder what went wrong, where did it go wrong, and who is to be blamed and who should be punished. And I feel like we all need to be compensated. Like, you know what I mean? There's no amount of money. And I was talking to one of my friends last night, Reggie. Hey Reggie, if you're watching this, hi. So I was talking to Reggie last night, and we were both saying there's no amount of money you can pay someone for what we went through. There's no amount of money, you can't put a price tag on it, but it's good, you can start there, because I would rather accept the money than you just saying sorry and then this can happen again. I feel like the best way to teach people a lesson is through their pockets. So I feel like the state of Texas owes someone owes us money, like for our pain. It's mental torture, it's physical torture. Like a lot of us are just not well, like just cold, the cold, you know, just not eating proper food. I remember just in a place like Houston where there's food everywhere, we were literally stuck to McDonald's. And I know people are like, oh, don't complain, at least you have food to eat. Yeah, waiting in a line that extends around the street. And that's if you're lucky to get it. It felt like the end of the world. And I would never in my life want to go through that again. I kept saying, are we being punished or something? Or are we being tortured, you know? It just didn't, that can never happen again. It can never happen again. And I feel the right people need to be punished for it. And stop the blame game, because I'm seeing like this person's blaming that person and the governor and the mayor, and it's like, just accept responsibility. You guys failed us when you shouldn't have. I mean, and I'm hearing people saying, and look at other places like London has a lot of snow. The year I was born, my mum said that they couldn't even open the front door because the snow was that high, but they still had electricity. How do places like Iceland and Antarctica, how do people live in Alaska? New York is snowing right now, Chicago snows, but people have never gone without electricity the way it happened in Houston. People could have passed from hypothermia, a lot of deaths. There was a homeless man in Houston who didn't want to go to a shelter they were offering him to go to, and they found his body the next day. That's how bad this got. People lost their lives because of negligence. This was gross negligence on the state of Texas. I don't know who's to blame, so I'm not going to blame anyone, but the state of Texas is who I'm blaming right now. It's like, I am so much more I appreciate light now like never before. Like just charging your phone, I had to go, people were having being rushed to hospital for carbon monoxide issues because they were sleeping in their car because it was that cold in their house. It's like your house was even more colder than it was outside, if that's even possible. It was dangerous. I mean, everywhere is dark. Anyone can come up to your house and just rob you. You can't see nothing. I mean, some people were posing as electricity men and going to houses and robbing people. So it really got bad. It really got really bad. And to be able to talk to you dolls right now is actually a blessing. I don't ever want to go through that ever again. It's draining. It's mentally draining. It's physically draining. It's something I cannot describe. And I cannot believe happened in the United States of America. I cannot believe it. It's just like, I cannot accept that happened in this country. I feel like that's something we'll be hearing in another country, but not in America, not the great state of Texas as well. So I just feel like the right people need to be punished for this, because innocent people lost their lives over BS, over something that you should have been prepared for. There is no excuse. I hate the excuse, oh, it's never happened here. Here is a hot climate. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care. You should always be prepared. You should always be prepared for anything. Anything can happen. Luckily, it didn't go on for like a week, but it feels like the whole week because we're on Thursday now. Now, many people are just finally starting to get back their power. The excuse was, oh, we need to, because it's that cold, everyone's going to be cranking up their heat. We need to turn off power and basically ration power. So some people will get it at some point, then 2 hours later, they'll turn it off on those set of people, that set of people. There's like 4 million people in Houston. How are you going to do that? About 4 million people, I'm not sure, don't quote me. But how is that possible? Why are you doing that? So we're just rationing electricity. And here's the kicker. Here's the thing that really pisses me off, and a lot of people. Houston is the energy city. It's made up of oil. I mean, this is where oil in America. It's the city of oil. It's Houston, Texas. Everyone knows Texas is oil, right? And energy. How comes we're like messed up that bad when it comes to electricity and all that, and energy and gas and hot water? What's going on? It's so embarrassing. It's like being known for selling hot dogs, and then there's a shortage of hot dogs in your town, I mean, that's the best analogy I can give, but it's just the most bizarre, out of world experience that I've ever experienced, and I never want to experience it again. It's just, And then you have people price gouging gas, like petrol, making it so expensive. Whenever these things like this happen, you have people who take advantage. You had people fighting in the gas station for petrol, because whenever the stuff like this happens, like whenever we have a hurricane, people act like it's the end of the world because it feels like it. So people just, and it's like, if it is the end of the world, you don't need gas to get anywhere, really. You're stuck. But people just, I know why in this situation people needed gas, because they were using their cars to charge. Like, I went through $20 of gas. Like, my tank takes up to $20 a week. And I went through $20 in one day, just sitting in my car charging my phone. Messed up. So it's like, I can understand why people at the gas stations, like, it was wrapping around the street. It's something I've wanted to vlog and show you, but when you're in that moment, you don't want to, you're like mentally drained, you don't want to turn on your camera, you don't even want to film people because people could be angry. Like, people were really vicious. I mean, you just begin to wonder, why was this? What was this all about? And why did this happen to us? And why did it get to a point where people's lives could be lost, you know? So that's really all I have to say about it. The good thing about it, you had like some churches who let people come in and you know, bring their blankets in and stay in the, because they had, some places had lights, so they let you go and charge in there, charge your phone. You had good people in this. You had the Mattress Smack. I don't know if you guys know of him. You don't know of him if you have to be from Houston to know. But this man literally, anytime there's something in Houston, like when we had Hurricane Katrina, no, not Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina was in Louisiana, I think. Hurricane Harvey. When we had Hurricane Harvey, he lets people in there to just like rest and sleep on the beds. He sells furniture. So they call him the Mattress Mac. And him, H-E-B, it's a grocery store here, they let us, they were really good. They're always good. Those two people literally run Houston, I'm telling you. So, other than that, it's just the leaders were just there blaming each other when we need help. And then you had, I think Senator Ted Cruz, I think he's a senator, escaping this morning to Mexico. It's like, you know what, bye Texas, I'm gonna go and get, you know, get myself a tan and get out of this cold mess. So it's just like, we're not being helped by anyone. It's like you're on your own type of situation. So anyway, that's what happened. Lights are back on now, and I say for good, because it's been on for hours now. I'll be pissed if they take it off again. Like, I will lose my mind. I'll lose my shit. But anyway, if you're watching, just pray for Texas, because we've been through it. Like, since 2017, we just keep getting stuff happening to us. And yeah, just pray for us, dolls. Because our leaders here are just kind of funny. And it's like, they don't care about us. They really don't. I feel like they don't care about us, because they wouldn't let this happen. Like, people should not have died from this. And the snow was, okay, so I didn't take pictures because I wasn't interested in the snow, to be honest. The snow, because of everything that came with it, but the snow was not even an inch. It was not high. It was very small, and it went the next day. So why did we go 3 days, 3 nights, 4 nights for some people without light to keep us warm? Why? And they kept saying, use blankets. Blankets can only do so much. Like, the whole house is cold, okay? And then on top of that, for me, TMI, I'm on my period, and I can't get, like, a good shower and keep cleaning down there. Just, oh, this is, this didn't feel like America. This felt like some kind of, like, other country, okay? Like, we don't expect this from America. That's why I say America's the laughing stock right now. Houston, Texas is the laughing stock. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, dolls. I'm doing so much better. I'm back, ready to make videos and put my everything into it. This just gave me more kick to work harder, and, you know, I'm doing good. Thank you so much to everyone who was checking on me. You dolls are amazing angels, amazing dolls. Be dolls. I love you dolls so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Love you dolls. Smooches. I'm good. I'm good. I survived 2021 apocalypse. You think that last year 2020 was bad? This year is just like, ugh, wait till you see what I have to